Good day, everyone. My name is Michalis Laurentiades. I'm the chief economist here at xm.com, and I'm with you today for your European Open briefing for Monday, October 9th. So what are we looking at today? Well, the euro is underpinned by some big Spanish demonstrations against Catalonian independence. We have so far heard the voices in favor of, they have been much more vocal, the voices in favor of independence. Now we are getting some kickback, it seems, within Catalonia and within Spain more broadly. Dollar yen has dropped back from 113 on North Korea missile test talk. The pound is also in focus. We're watching what is going to happen with UK politics in particular. The diary is relatively quiet because we have a partial holiday in the US because of the Columbus Day. We have a holiday in Japan. With the data releases today are Eurozone Centix, Chinese services PMI, and German industrial production. Also US employment trends later today. So we said that the euro is somewhat is relative because it's just holding above the 117 level basically. It's underpinned by the massive show of support for the continued unity of Spain on the streets of both Madrid and Catalonia. We saw hundreds of thousands of people hitting the streets over the weekend to support the unity of Spain. Now, we are saying that political risk has re-emerged in the Eurozone and this has hurt the euro, but will it last? So investors definitely have to pay attention that Merkel's talks with potential partners are making progress. So maybe they are removing some of the political risk in Germany. And there could be some resolution of the Catalan crisis as there are calls for talks. So there are both people who are seeing the negative in the increased political risk in the euro, but also the positive side that maybe this political risk is going to calm down somewhat. So I think this is the interesting tug of war right now in the euro. Now, with respect to the US dollar, we had relatively weak jobs numbers on Friday for the September employment report. The US economy actually lost jobs during September, lost 33,000 jobs. The expectation was for the net creation of 90,000 jobs. However, the unemployment rate came in lower than expected at 4.2%, a very low unemployment rate. Average earnings month on month climbed 0.5%. The expectation was for 0.3% increase, so that was also strong. Mixed data, and we saw the market being very volatile in the aftermath of the report. You see dollar yen jumping all the way up to 113.5, then coming back down. So we had like strong earnings versus weak jobs, especially in the establishment survey. Now, we had also reports from a Russian official that after a visit in North Korea that the country was planning a new long-range missile test. This helped the gold and the yen, has hurt the dollar a little bit, has prevented it from rising further. As you can see, gold has jumped, $20 if we see the lows from around 1260. It's around about 1281 right now, or more or less from the level post around the 1270s, more or less a $10 increase. So it's interesting that dollar is still reacting as a safe haven, but I would caution that stocks are not paying too much attention to the drama over North Korea, so stocks are doing well. So not as widespread fear or risk of sentiment over the North Korean situation, despite what the headlines would suggest. Now, on to the pound. The pound has been a victim of Tory infighting over the future of May's government. There was actually talk of a revolt or of a conspiracy actually to bring down the government of Theresa May. replace her as a prime minister. And also the pound has been hurting because of reports that Brexit talks are actually going nowhere. So that was a terrible week for the pound. That was last week. But we saw towards the end of the week and in today's trading, the pound has defended the 130 level against the dollar. So it has more or less held that very crucial psychological level for now. And we are having reports of a reshuffle in the UK to strengthen May's position. So reshuffle means that some ministers would be let go. One of the ministers that could be let go would be Boris Johnson, who has been creating all sorts of problems for May's government, has been behind a lot of the divisions between the cabinet ministers. So we have to watch May's gambit to get a government reshuffle work. Will there be an actual revolt against May that is going to bring her down? That's a bit of it's a tense situation, and the pound is mostly reflecting that, because on the economic front, yes, we have seen some mixed data, but nothing that's going to prevent the Bank of England from actually hiking in around a month's time. So the economic data more or less have been on course. Some of them have been weak, some of them have been a bit strong from last week. We'll see this week. We're getting some industrial and manufacturing reports as well. Finally, we have the Turkish lira that has been under a lot of pressure this morning. US and Turkey have been involved in a mutual fight. They are not issuing visas to each other's citizens. What happened was an employee of a US consulate in Turkey was arrested. This could lead to tensions between the two allies. We certainly see Turkey having more or less on and off tensions with some of her allies. Now, how important this is going to be is difficult to say. I mean, the initial reaction was for a drop of the lira of around 4% at its worst point, but you have seen that the drop has moderated to around 2% loss. So certainly some volatility around the Turkish lira, and something to watch for Turkish lira traders. Now, as we said on the calendar, it's mostly quiet day today. We had the Chinese services PMI posting a sharp drop to a 21-month low, but I would caution that it's still above 50, so the drop may look a little dramatic, but still above 50, it's still expanding. German industrial output was very strong, but it failed to help the euro much today. We are getting the Centix investor sentiment index later today. Also, the conference board employment trends out of the US, despite of it being a partial holiday, and maybe we're going to see thin trading volumes, especially with Japan on holiday today because of Health and Sports Day. And instead of data, I think the markets are going to mostly watch politics out of Spain, the UK, and of course North Korea. That's it from me today. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.